Hello everyone and welcome to Holistic Healing with Deepshikha. Deep human connection is the purpose and the result of a meaningful life, and it will inspire the most amazing acts of love, generosity and humanity by Melinda Gates. This is something that I have come to realize is actually true. Though there was a time when I believed the opposite of this. But slowly, life has shown me that this life is all about the connections, the relations we build, the people who walk into our lives and leave, and the ones who choose to stay. Relationships. A very difficult topic to talk about. But I'm going to try and give you my point of view based on what I have come to realize. Of course, I am still learning, and with each passing day, life somehow finds a way to teach me something more. So, what do we know about relationships? Well, they shape who we are, influence how we live, and play a key role in both our earthly and spiritual journeys. Whether they are family ties, romantic connections, friendships, or even the relationships we have with ourselves, the bonds we form are a reflection of the deepest parts of our being. So, now the questions that arise are: how do relationships impact our lives? How do they frame our experiences? And what do they really mean from a spiritual perspective? Let's unpack all of that and more today. Relationships are more than just social bonds. They are essential for our well-being, growth and fulfillment. From the moment we are born, we are immersed in relationships, from the bond with our parents to the connections we form with friends, partners and even colleagues. Psychologically, relationships are integral to our sense of identity. Erik Erikson, a Danish German Jewish child psychoanalyst and visual artist, spoke about how our identities are largely shaped by the people we interact with. He argued that each stage of life offers opportunities for us to form different kinds of relationships, intimate partnerships, friendships, and communities that help us understand who we are and what we stand for. If you ever observed, you would realize that your perspectives, views, thinking, ideas have all been majorly influenced by the relationships you yourself experienced or saw around you. That is how huge an impact relationships can have on us. However, this is not it. Beyond the psychological and social, relationships also carry deep emotional and spiritual significance. They reflect our soul's journey, our purpose, and our growth, whether it's healing through difficult family dynamics or evolving spiritually with a life partner. Since the time that I have been on this journey, I have often heard that our relationships are a reflection of us. So much so that now, whenever I am facing some issues in any part of my relationship, my natural reaction is to look within, to try and understand what am I being shown and what is it that I need to face and deal with. In many ways, the relationships usually reflect parts of ourselves that we may not be fully conscious of. Carl Jung referred to this as the concept of the shadow, the unconscious parts of ourselves that we may repress or deny. Often, those parts of ourselves show up in our relationships. For example, if we struggle with self-worth, we might attract relationships that reflect that same dynamic. On the flip side, healthy supportive relationships encourage us to face our own shadow and grow beyond it. But of course, that does not mean that if you are in a troubled relationship, it is your fault and you are attracting it. It can also mean that this is the universe's way of giving you the opportunity to face and heal from things which eventually will take you to a place where you attract what you deserve. Another example is the relationship we share with our siblings. They are our biggest teachers. They come into our life, helping us reflect and heal not just things that we may have encountered in this life, but also paths that we may be carrying with us from other lifetimes, or face situations that help our soul progress in its journey. I mean, we all can agree that they are the most irritating people in our life, but also the ones who love us blindly. And it is through these connections, often with those closest to us, that we have the opportunity to heal and evolve. The love and acceptance we receive from others can also serve as a catalyst for personal growth, transforming us into more loving and grounded individuals. On a basic human level, relationships fulfill our innate need for connection. Maslow's hierarchy of needs highlights love and belonging as one of our core needs, right after safety and psychological needs. We are wired for connection. Without relationships, we would not only feel isolated, but we would also miss out on the richness of life itself. The shared experiences, the mutual support, and the sense of being understood by others. But relationships are more than just a need, they are transformative. In times of joy, we share our happiness. In times of hardship, we find strength through others. The intimacy, understanding, and compassion within relationships help us grow, heal, and evolve. Now, getting deeper into the spiritual take on relationships. Like I already said, relationships take on a much deeper meaning. They are seen not only as ways to connect with one another in this life, but also as opportunities for the soul's evolution. Many spiritual traditions, including those in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Christianity, view relationships as a mechanism for spiritual growth, where each encounter is an opportunity to learn and evolve. There is a book, Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss. I came across this book way back in 2014. He discusses the concept of soul families and soul tribes. According to Weiss, our souls are not bound to a single lifetime, but instead reincarnate in different forms, often reuniting with the same souls across various lifetimes. These souls are part of a collective group, what he refers to as our soul family. Weiss writes, when we are born, we are assigned to a soul family or a soul group, and they are with us through many lifetimes. These are the people we have karmic relationships with, the ones who are our greatest teachers, even when they don't feel like it in the moment. He continues to say that the soul family is not always the same people you are born into in each lifetime, but it is made up of souls that you have shared experiences with in the past. These people, whether they are friends, family members, or even strangers, are often here to teach us lessons that we have yet to learn or help us heal from past wounds. Of course, when I read all this for the first time, it all seemed really fascinating to me, though it has taken me years to really understand what the book really was about. The idea is that the challenges and relationships we face in this life may not be random. Our closest relationships, including those that may seem tumultuous or difficult, can be seen as opportunities for the soul to learn and evolve. In essence, the people we meet aren't just coincidental, they are often integral to our spiritual growth and usually chosen by our own soul. So, today, when I come across such challenges, well, my first instinct is to comfort myself by saying, you chose this. Of course, it doesn't make anything better, except knowing that if I chose it for myself, it wouldn't be all that bad, no matter how it may seem at that particular moment. Okay, so you may wonder, what do relationships have to do with spirituality? I mean, we have often heard how you have to leave the world behind to progress spiritually, and relationships are a big part of this world. Well, spiritual growth isn't always about solitary meditation or introspection. Often it happens through our interactions with others. There is so much that we learn from our relations because, like I said, the relationships we cultivate are mirrors, reflecting back the lessons we need to learn. It is when we get stuck in the lower emotions like anger, jealousy, and start acting out of our insecurities and fears that we tend to overlook what that particular situation is trying to teach us. And that is what often happens. We get so carried away in our attachments or mentally get stuck in how things were in the past that we turn the present into something not so pleasant. As a bargain, collecting some more lessons to be learned. So, what can relationships do for us in our spiritual journey? First is karmic lessons. As mentioned earlier, our soul family helps us work through unresolved karmic issues. We may encounter people in this life with whom we've had past life interactions, and these relationships may hold the key to understanding our soul's purpose. By working through challenges with these individuals, we clear old karmic debts and allow our souls to evolve. In addition, Relationships are one of the greatest opportunities to practice compassion, forgiveness, and unconditional love, qualities that are essential for spiritual growth. When we engage with others, whether in harmony or conflict, we are called to stretch our hearts and minds. For example, forgiving someone who has hurt us not only heals the relationship but also accelerates our own spiritual growth, moving us towards higher consciousness. And lastly, if only we become a little self aware, relationships are a great catalyst for growth through reflection. As we interact with others, they serve as mirrors to our own strengths and weaknesses. Through the dynamics of relationships, we see parts of ourselves that we may not be aware of. A difficult partner, for example, may reveal our capacity for patience or our need to set boundaries. These moments allow us to learn and grow spiritually, helping us align more closely with our higher selves. Not just this, but relationships also offer opportunities for personal progress on a practical level too. Relationships can definitely make us better communicators, be it to express appreciation or set boundaries. Another thing that truly happens is that you become more self aware and more emotionally intelligent by developing virtues like patience, empathy, and integrity. Rainer Maria, a poet, once said, "The purpose of life is to be defeated by greater and greater things." And in many ways, the people who come into our lives, whether they challenge us or support us, are those greater things that push us to expand beyond our limited selves. It is through relationships that we truly experience the beauty of both earthly and spiritual existence. In the end, all I can say is that relationships are the fabric that weaves together the story of our lives. They shape our identities, challenge our perspectives, and push us towards personal and spiritual growth. From a psychological standpoint, relationships influence our self concept, while spiritually they mirror us, helping us evolve into higher versions of ourselves. As Brian Weiss so eloquently puts it, our soul families and tribes are our greatest teachers, guiding us through lifetimes of learning and growth. So, as you reflect on your own relationships, remember that they are not just about who we connect with, but also why we connect with them. They are the stepping stones of our spiritual journey, the channels through which we learn, heal, and ultimately grow. Thank you for tuning in today. Remember, the relationships you nurture aren't just part of your earthly journey, they are vital to your spiritual evolution too. Thank you.